Hello everyone, this is Dartt. I've had some requests for Demon Hunter specialization guides, so here's the Havok guide, and I'll be putting together a Vengeance guide very soon. I finally spent some time playing my own Demon Hunter, and after reviewing the guide on Icy-Veins.com by Theorycrafter Word Up of the Guild Echoes, and testing things out both on training dummies and while gearing up via the pre-launch demonic invasions, I've come up with some thoughts of my own, and I've included those in this video. If you have yet to try out a Havok or DPS spec Demon Hunter, they use Fury as a resource, which allows you to use Chaos Strike, Blade Dance, and I-Beam. Crits from Chaos Strike refund half the Fury cost. I-Beam has a long cooldown, so you really want to pick when you want to use it and make sure you're positioned correctly. Fell Rush and Vengeful Retreat allow you the ability to cover large distances instantly, as well as to disengage from combat. Metamorphosis has a moderate cooldown and augments your Fury abilities along with granting additional haste. The pros of the spec: first off, you have very consistent sustained single target damage. Also, Havok Demon Hunters have insane mobility during a fight. Along with that, they can both switch targets without downside and pool resources for bursts without significant DPS loss. Last up, the cooldowns they do have are very, very powerful. On the con side, the spec relies heavily on critical strike, which is at the mercy of the RNG. Apart from short but high burst AoE, Demon Hunters do not currently perform well against multiple targets compared with other classes. If you want to play for optimal DPS throughput, you're going to have to factor in Fell Rush and Vengeful Retreat to your rotation, which may have very negative effects on your survivability. Speaking of survivability, apart from maybe recovering health from soul fragments, Havok Demon Hunters are very squishy. Think wet toilet paper squishy. They simply aren't designed with survivability in mind, apart from their crazy mobility. Keep this in mind against bosses and encounters that feature heavy AoEs or damage over time effects. Havok Demon Hunters have 2 damage mitigation cooldowns, but even if you chain them, you're still going to take face-wrecking damage during some fights. As far as raid viability before Legion goes live, at level 100 with 700-ish item level gear, I've seen some Demon Hunters that generate very respectable DPS numbers. They're definitely all the rage right now as people are trying to gear up as quickly as possible for Legion's launch in LFR and 5-mans. I don't recall or have saved any metrics, but suffice to say that roughly following the rotation I'll be giving later in this guide, in 685 item level gear, basically what you get from the initial Demon Hunter campaign, I was pulling around 64 to 66k DPS on training dummies. I will say though, this is multi-target and not single target. Due to the fact that Legion hasn't launched yet, there aren't many options with regards to talents. At level 99, you choose between Fell Mastery, which increases Fell Rush damage by 50% and grants 25 Fury when Fell Rush damages at least one target, Chaos Cleave, which allows Chaos Strike to hit an additional target for 50% damage, and Blind Fury, which increases the duration of I-Beam by 50%. In every situation, Icy-Veins and I both agree that Fell Mastery is the hands-down choice. Chaos Cleave does on the surface seem to provide some value, but it's simply outclassed by the DPS potential of Fell Mastery in multi-target settings. and even the 25 extra Fury grants more value in single target. Blind Fury simply does not provide enough value due to eye beams being on a 45-second cooldown. For level 100, you have Prepared, which reduces the cooldown of Vengeful Retreat by 10 seconds and generates 40 Fury over 5 seconds if you damage at least one enemy with it. Demon Blades, which grants your auto attack a 75% chance to deal additional shadow damage and generate Fury. And Demonic Appetite, which gives your Chaos Strike a chance to spawn a lesser Soul Fragment, and consuming any Soul Fragment grants 30 Fury. Icy-Veins advises that you take either Prepared or Demon Blades, and that guide leans towards Demon Blades. Personally, though, I wouldn't take it. It both replaces Demon's Bite and turns it into a passive, which forces you to use mobility to generate Fury. This may not always be the smartest play. An example of this would be Velhari in Hellfire Citadel. You don't always win by being more mobile. In terms of open world content, you're also going to want a little more flexibility. So I go with Prepared in the level 100 tier. I'll further disagree with Icy-Veins by saying that you might actually go with Demonic Appetite if survivability is an issue and you're up against a heavy multi-target situation. With the Demon Hunter, you'll want to begin combat as follows. First off, use an agility potion before the pull. Next, Fell Rush, preferably twice if it's practical. Then, build Fury to at least 80 with Demon's Bite. Cast Metamorphosis, then use Annihilation. After this, continue with your rotation. For single target, your rotation coming off your opener will be, first of all, Vengeful Retreat at 85 or less Fury, then Fell Rush, especially if you're at 70 or less Fury, or if you're about to have 2 charges. Chaos Strike, or Annihilation if Metamorphosis is still active while at 70 Fury or above. Demon's Bite is a filler. Then throw Glaive as needed if you're out of range of your target. For multiple targets, Fell Rush at 70 or lower Fury, or if you're about to hit 2 charges, preferably at 3 or more targets. Vengeful Retreat at 85 or lower Fury. Fell Rush again if you're about to hit 2 charges. Then Eye Beam, Blade Dance, Chaos Strike as a filler. Then Demon's Bite to generate Fury, and again throw Glaive if you're out of melee range. Some final notes. First of all, you're playing a class spec that effectively uses both Warrior's Charge and Hunter's Disengage as resource builders. You should always be looking for ways to use these to your maximum advantage, because used in combination, they give you the highest potential mobility of any class or spec. 2. I can't emphasize this enough. Pick your spot wisely with Eye Beam. Not only do you want the most possible targets, but you want to both position yourself and aim such that you generate the most damage possible. 45 seconds may not sound like a lot, but if you use it, be prepared not to have this available for a while. For those keyboard turners out there, you need to learn to mouse look, or you will simply be too slow to use this ability well. Last, you will want to use Metamorphosis in high burst situations on single target. You won't have the Warlord's Legendary Ring to help you out, but if you can time this to take advantage of Heroism, Bloodlust, or Time Warp, you'll do very well if you can pull off a burst of Annihilation strikes. I hope you find this helpful, so please hit that like, button if that's the case. I'd love to read your comments, so please leave those below. Also, hit that subscribe button if you haven't. Once again, this is Dartt. Good luck, have fun, go kill some bosses.